CM.
ZM.
How are you doing, Ahmed?
I'm doing amazing. I can't complain. Very happy with everything that's been happening around us. So, not a better time to be alive.
Nice. So I was checking the banner. It cannot be less accurate because Rafa is not gonna be here today. Dave is driving. He's doing his
Yeah,
best for reaching the meetup, but we don't want him to rush.
of course.
So, and you are not in the cartel, but anyway, we have a lot of information, we have a lot of things to update you guys. So I think we can start.
Let's go.
Um, let's review. I think we have more than 100 million already bridged to mainnet.
I think that's an amazing number. And when you look at it for context, that is more than 4% of the supply. And the fact that there's been zero marketing spend, we've just put out educational posts. It is just amazing how the community has responded to that. If you look at the number of transactions, this 107 million, I think that's the latest number, is made up of multiple transactions, small wallets, medium wallets, big wallets. Everyone is like getting into the groove. And you're already seeing on the D apps that the numbers are blowing up. So it's an amazing time indeed.
Okay, you are in very well, everybody's using the apps, but you are in a close contact with all the builders. So you were talking about the numbers from the apps. What can you tell us about AutoSwap? They have
So
really nice milestone, right?
exactly. So Oroswap crossed $2 million in TVL today. Valdora crossed $3 million yesterday. I believe that by the time tomorrow morning we should have crossed maybe 5.5, maybe even reaching for six. So this is very very encouraging, given the fact that yes, it takes time for a new blockchain and new DApps to start scaling and to have the first revenue walk in, but already we're seeing that in the first week, the kind of traction that these two D apps have, that gives us a lot of, and the teams that have been working on them, a lot of hope in terms of what's going to eventually transpire. So a lot of optimism over there.
So we are talking about SIG Bridget, but it's not only SIG, right? I can see some liquidity pools in AutoSwap that, for example, we have also USDC, right?
Yeah, so we have started seeing a lot of USDC start coming in as well. In fact, Oroswap has also put up, and that's like what I love about the Web3 world, because you can just be so quick and very high agency and very reactive. The moment that they saw that people were bringing in USDC, but they did not have ZIG to pay gas fee, they put up a page where anyone who has USDC in their wallet can go and claim ZIG token. So it's more like a mainnet faucet, but the best part is that it's not us who's put it up, it's the ecosystem. And I think that really tells you why open systems, open source systems, and Web3 generally is going to win, because you can be so fast and you can be so reactive.
So I think there is something very interesting if you add the liquidity to this pool in particular, right? You see USDC.
Yeah, so there's an ongoing farm. Apparently, you're getting more auto swap points by providing liquidity to that. At the moment, there is, of course, then you're also earning from from the liquidity, the LP fees that you're putting in. And I was speaking with the auto swap guys, and well, I think there's, while I cannot speak on anyone's behalf, but I think it's very much clear that they are very very happy and receptive to all of the community feedback that is coming their way, and there's going to be a lot for the community down the road coming from their side as well.
Okay. So one of the things that has been in our DNA from the beginning is transparency. So
Exactly.
I want to ask you about the risk of providing liquidity to, for example, ZIG USDC.
Yeah. So the risk is that with these LP pools, essentially you're putting both sides. So you're putting your ZIC tokens and you're putting your US dollars as well. Now, if the ZIG price were to fall, which is a natural phenomena, it's a market, then essentially what would be happening is that you will have less of ZIG, and you'll have more of ZIG and less of dollars, and vice versa as well, where you will have more of dollars and less of ZIG. So LPs essentially, you could basically, this is something which is called impermanent loss, in not so many words, whereby whatever you put in, you could be coming out with something completely else, and ultimately these things sort of even out. But the fact of the matter is that, and I want to say this more from a community perspective, without getting too technical. If you have a view on selling your ZIC tokens at a particular price, and if you're actively contributing to an LP pool, and the price is going up, then well, you are selling as the price is going up. Which if that is your strategy, it works well. So it's important for people who are chasing yield to be able to understand that if you love your ZIC too much, then this is probably then you should be aware. You should be aware that you are selling as it is going up, and you're buying more of it as it's going down. So it's a great strategy. I have personally tried to mimic this on centralized exchanges before the blockchain went live. So I was always buying as the price was going down, and I was always selling chunks of it as it was going up. So it's and it could be like part of your strategy in terms of just doing really playing with a certain amount of the pool, and not like all of your holdings.
Nice. Um, Bardora, I see that they have around 22 APY,
Yeah.
but you go to the validator and you have 26. Why I
Yeah.
will go to Bardora?
Okay, so why would you go to Valdora? So first, it's important to understand that the validator is receiving 26, but he's passing on 20, about 25. They're keeping about 1.5% for their own commission. Valdora is ultimately taking the ZIC tokens from the community and staking them into the validators. So the commission that the validators are charging applies to Valdora as well. But since Valdora is doing everyone a service by providing them with STZig and keeping them liquid, it's only logical that they keep some commission as well. So essentially, the cost of being liquid is about 10% because you pay the validator commission regardless. But I think it's a small cost to pay, given the fact that if you are liquid, then you get to do all of these crazy things on the DeFi side. We have Oroswap already seeing all of these different LP pools, which are very interesting from a yield perspective. Already seeing how for those of you who want to do community tokens and want to do trading, there are certain things that are starting to pop off. Whether that is something you want to do or you don't want to do, to each his own. But then what I'm really excited about is that STZig is going to be a acceptable collateral token in Permapod, which is not too far away. And ultimately, you're going to be able to leverage on your STZig position, maybe get USDC back, maybe get ZIG back, or maybe get a combination of the two, and then go and deploy liquidity on Oroswap, or maybe do a looping strategy with Valdora. Either way, you're going to be supercharging your returns, and I think that is where the true power of STZig really comes to the fore.
Tell me more about this looping strategy
Okay.
that I'm pretty sure because I think it's something that is easy to understand for everybody and it's easy to do for everybody.
Yeah. So looping generally is that, for example, if I have ZIG tokens, I can go to Valdora and I can stake my ZIG tokens and I get STZig in return. Then if STZig, and it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when, guys. When STZig is available as a collateral on Permapod, you will be able to go and put that into a pool with Permapod and borrow ZIG tokens again from them. You take those ZIG tokens because back to Valdora and you stake them again. You get ST again in return, and you can continue to repeat this maybe 4 or 5 times before it just gets a bit, before the returns get marginal. But essentially, with the same amount of ZIG, you can create 3 or 4x exposure and get yield on that. So, not really trying to be off the cuff over here, but your 22% APY could start looking more like 35 to 40% APY.
Okay, and this is one of the reasons why you want to pay the commission to a liquid staking protocol, right? Because you
100%,
have this
100%,
possibility. Okay.
100%.
And this is only one of the things that you can do with these liquid staking tokens, but there is going to be many other things that you can do. Interesting thing is that if you don't have time, if you don't have the knowledge, you don't feel confident, there is going to be, you already have Signary, everybody knows about Signary, but I think there is other DApps coming that they are also going to facilitate this in a more decentralized way, right?
Exactly. So that is what like Nava is building towards, whereby Nava is going to have the same pool structure. You can come and put money into pools, and on the back end they go and they invest in Valdora. They will not be doing this looping strategy just yet. But the idea is that because they're like Sharia aligned, so there's going to be some work that still needs to happen in terms of really setting up and working with the permapod team and setting up looping and lending in a way which is deemed Sharia compliant. But we're definitely working towards that. Also, there is, of course, like you mentioned, Zignelli with the Zip Vault service. I think that is something for anyone who does not, who wants to stay on the centralized side and who wants to really have the same email, password, login, my 2FA, and I just go and have that familiar feel. Always go and put money into the Zip Vault service, and we can, the service manager there can really do it for you. And then there are certain other players who want to build the same kind of strategies, which are very DeFi focused, very quant focused, on our blockchain as well. And we're actively speaking to a lot of them. Some are actively building with us, and really excited about this next cohort of DApps.
So we have a very passionate member from the community asking when Binance, uh, but I think the question now is not when Binance, is when Permapop, when Nava, when all these apps. I think it sounds much more exciting than other listing.
100%. And I think, well, to quote Donald Trump when he said that you will never have to sell your Bitcoin again, I think what he was trying to say was that, it's so valuable and there's going to be so much utility around it that you will never need to sell it. And I think we hear that from Rafa all the time about, about his early bet with BNB, right? Essentially, I think, exchange listings and all of these things, yes, they are important. They do work or they don't work for you. The jury is still out. But I think what I'm really excited about personally is all of this ecosystem going live. So when Permapod, when Nava, when Zamanat, and then some of these next cohort of DApps which are just crazy. And most of them are on the tokenization side. Most of them are going to be available through different means to retail investors, and the kind of asset classes that we have there. Oof, it's very exciting stuff there.
It's very exciting. We have a call today with a institutional potential partner, and this idea about using real world asset as collateral
Yeah,
for taking loans is something very attractive for many people. You mentioned about this mm, quote from Trump talking about Bitcoins. We have also something related to Bitcoin, this DATCO that from Europe, they are raising $100 million. They are allocating small portion of this $100 million to Z.
yeah.
So what can you tell us to this? What this really means for the community, for the ecosystem?
Yeah, so I think like broadly for the community, because the community was here first, even before the ecosystem, and I think this is like a big news. It's a big validation of everything that they have believed in. It's a big validation of their conviction in us. And then, from an ecosystem perspective, I think this is huge because this gives a lot of institutional validation to what we've been trying to do. For Europe's largest digital asset treasury company, a listed entity on the Polish stock exchange, on the Warsaw Stock Exchange, to say that they're going to be allocating about $30 million to the ZIG token to take advantage of the yield opportunities in our ecosystem, present and upcoming. Uh, Goes to show that whatever we're building towards is something that is very institutionally appealing. And that is a huge message to circling back to our community and to our ecosystem, that guys, we have the institutions looking at us. They are interested in working with us. So we double down on your convictions, whether you're a community member, whether you're a developer or builder, or anyone who's participating in any way in the space. I think this is it's time to double down. It's time to really double down on your convictions, double and triple down, in fact.
So one of the things that helped it to not that helped that why ZIGChain is attractive for these institutions and why they are willing to bring their part of their treasury and even allocate in the SIG token, the SIG coin, is all focus in world generation. And of course, if you want to be focused in world generation, now you need to look beyond DeFi, because DeFi is very attractive, but the reality is that it's difficult to scale and not everybody can play this game. So this is something that now with real world asset we solve, right? We can access to more opportunities and we can kind of connect DeFi and TradFi with this medium. So, and I think this is what is the role or trillion in this plan?
Yeah. Okay. So yes, I think you bring up a great point that from an appeal perspective, the fact is that a lot of blockchains are trying to ride the RWA narrative, and they're doing it in their own way. I think with us, one of the ways that we have been really able to put out a highly convincing story is the actual steps that we've taken. So we're not about just narrative. Um, the true, our acquisition of the Trulium license, or our acquisition in Trulium, who holds the license for fund tokenization out of DIFC. I think that is a huge, major strategic move, which signals to institutional investors that we are serious about tokenization. We don't just treat it as a narrative. We're not just building technology for the sake of it, but we're also trying to solve for the regulatory part. And then when solving for the regulatory part, we're going to one of the best jurisdictions out there to solve for. We're putting our money where our mouth is, and I think all of those things appeal to digital asset treasury companies like BTCS, which has invested in us. Rafa has earlier mentioned that there are others who are also actively speaking to us about this. And ultimately, the thought process is the same. The model of having passive digital asset treasury companies who just hold Bitcoin or hold Ethereum or hold like a bunch of digital assets is long gone, because there's like a lot of saturation there. Ultimately, in public markets, and you're going to start seeing that in the Web3 world as well, and we're already seeing it. You have to be responsible to people who have backed you with capital. And in public markets, you have to put out a P&L. If there is no yield that is being generated by those idle assets, there is going to be no P&L. And ultimately, that is what BTCS as a new age DATCO is working towards by being by deploying their treasury actively. And it's a huge boon that they've chosen us, and they've chosen us for the right reasons. DeFi, RWA, actively working towards regulation, towards distribution, and not just being focused on technology.
Right. So one of the things that I like now is that we are talking about things that they already happened, right? We are not announcing something that is gonna come in a few months, it might
Yeah,
come, it might not come. So this is a reality. Trillium is part of SIP Lab.
yeah,
I know that Zamanap is also involved there.
yeah.
We have this partnership with Apex
Apex.
that is gonna play also a very important role in this strategy. But when can we see the first real world asset token? Because you mentioned many the apps, but I didn't hear about anything regarding tokenization.
Yeah. Okay. So since I'm not allowed to say about things that are going to come, I'm going to be very careful over here. But it would be good to share some updates on what's happening on the tokenization front. So we have the Tulium license. Zamanat is actively building the underlying tech with some partners, and very soon we're going to have the technology piece in place with all of the security audits and everything done. And guys, this is like technology of a different kind, because with real world asset tokenization, you need to have regulations and compliance built into the technology. So all of those things are, so that is happening. The license is there. The Zamana team, as of now, is actively engaged with a bunch of lawyers in terms of getting their first fund that they want to do, ready for the market. We anticipate that if everything goes well, and because it's not a decentralized world, you have to ultimately have approvals from the relevant authorities, the DIFC and the DFSA in this case in particular, working through Trulium. So ultimately, there's going to be, if everything goes well, maybe we see the first Zamanat thing this quarter. But that's not the only thing that Zamanat is working on. I'm pleased to share that Zamanat is also working on doing a lot of tokenization without the whole fund structures as well, and in certain other jurisdictions. So when the time comes, we will talk about it more. But either way, I'm very comforted to say that sometime this quarter, we will see the first issue RWA issuances on ZIGChain. I think that would be like the perfect way to end the year.
Nice. I would love to see that. Okay, so let's come back to something that everybody asks, everybody is super excited, which is the reward from the first staking program. So, if you remember, guys, everybody who stake will remember, we have been running this program for a few months. We extended even when we didn't have a clear time end, we extended a little bit, and we even put under 10 million SIG tokens. So how this is gonna work? The idea is you need to bridge your well, now you can go to the staking landing page, you can unstake, and you can withdraw. There is no lock period. You don't need to wait anything. It's immediate. So once you have your tokens, you need to bridge them to ZIGChain. Once they are there, okay, the 5th of November, we are gonna be we are gonna start putting the rewards available for the people to claim. Okay, why the 5th of November? Remember the 5th of November. So the reason why is because there are a lot of people who haven't breached their token yet, and we want to give enough time for them to do it. Okay, so but by the 5th of November, you will have your reward ready to start claiming them.
Yeah, and
Uh,
and and on that note, I think it's important for everyone to take a look at all of these educational resources that we've put out. They cover everything from unclaiming your, for claiming your tokens from the staking protocol on Ethereum, and then how you need to bridge them, and then how you need to, and ultimately how you will be able to start, claiming your rewards as well. All of those educational resources are going to be are already there, or whatever is not there in terms of next steps will start coming there as well. I was speaking with Nat, our CTO, and my understanding is that essentially we're giving a lot of people time so that you have and not reward not starting the a reward distribution immediately, so that people have time to start to bridge their tokens, and then be ready for that, because we would not like anyone to miss out. This is normal, and so as to ensure that everyone has an equal chance, because it could be the case that someone might, for example, I have not been able to bridge all of my ZIG tokens yet, right? So like I am inside the team, so I'm sure there are like a lot of people like me who are like waiting for that weekend, waiting for that time when they're just going to sit and do this in a serene environment. So it's perfectly all right to wait a bit. But very important, 5th of November. Before that, be on ZIGChain.
I will not say that is all right because you are losing 22% APY.
I said on a portion of my ZIG tokens, not like most of mine are done, like a portion.
Okay,
So that's it. Like
so
that's like my dad's wallet. I hope he's not like listening to this podcast, but that's my dad's wallet. Okay.
okay. So there have been a lot of events. There have been this Apex Invest with Switzerland. We have the token 2049. We have a family office event. Very high level events. I'm pretty sure that we have a lot of exciting news from there. What can you tell us from it?
Yeah, so I accompanied the Zamanat team to Switzerland, and at Lucerne, they had the Apex Invest Summit over there. Amazing group of people to connect with, and whoever we, well, a lot of people know us in the space, and we and vice versa. But then the fact that we are now live adds a different dynamic to these relationships. And when we and the conversations that we're now having, they are like moving fast. So it's not about, okay, when you go live, let's talk. Now it is, okay, you are live, what can we do together? So a lot of interest in tokenization, a lot of interest in using our wealth management engine and our distribution capabilities going forward for the distribution of these tokenized assets. All of these big institutions, legacy institutions that have been around there since the 1700s and even since the time of the Merchant of Venice. They're all looking into blockchain because they see that how this is efficient, how does this save costs, and then when they see that there is a player like us who has been there for the past 8 years and comes with a lot of credibility with all of these licenses out of South Africa, out of DIFC, and they see the value in partnering with us, and Zamanat has like a ton load of leads to follow up on. We also had the opportunity to spend some time in Zurich at this event, which was supposed to be for crypto bros, and turns out all of the crypto bros over there are either they wear suits or they are actually TradFi people. So we ran into like so many private bankers, people who banks that were set up in the 1930s and 1940s, who are already doing digital assets, who are already doing custody for digital assets, or have investors who are interested in tokenized securities. And we had like an amazing time connecting with them, and we have like a big list of leads to follow up on. Some very interesting meetings in Zug. Just to tell you the kind of severity of that, we have been speaking with certain partners, and they actually, one of them flew down all the way from London just for this meeting in Zug. So he only came for a day. So that probably tells you what we're trying to do with him, again on the tokenization front. But then fast forward, we had the opportunity to then travel all the way to Singapore. So from Switzerland to Singapore. Um Singapore
So
was,
yeah,
yeah, I stopped there.
before jumping into token 2049, if you remember in the ZIGChain summit in the previous token 2049, we
Yeah,
have a good part of the community flying to Dubai
yeah,
only to
exactly.
go to this event, right? Not even the
Yeah,
token 2049. But
exactly.
now, amazing community, amazing guys. But now also we are having another kind of community, these crypto
Exactly.
bros, these bankers, also
Yeah,
flying to where we are to talk to us.
100%. It is amazing. And he's not the only person. One of these other guys, he actually took a 5-hour train from Hamburg or Munich, and he came to meet us in Zurich. And then it was like a 2-hour meeting, and then he took the next train back. And it's like the guy wasted, or not wasted.
No
If he's
wasted, no
listening,
wasted.
if he's listening, I
It,
love him. 10 hours to meet us, and I respect that. I respect that so much. So yeah, like it's just amazing, and the fact that Switzerland has like 25% of the world's wealth, and and for them to be really looking at tokenization and blockchain, I think that is amazing. That is just that just tells you the size of the opportunity that is out there. Um, I can also share this with the community before we head to Singapore. We're actually speaking with ex-TradFi people in Switzerland who and in broader Europe who want to work with us, who want to build something with us. So I mean, it's still early, but that really just tells you, how the world at large is looking at blockchain and how well we are positioned over here. And it's touch wood, really,
Okay.
really happy.
Okay. So
Mr. David.
Oh, hello.
Hello,
also
hello.
to mention Queen, which is the one that you are referring because
Exactly,
he's in the community.
exactly.
He's writing in the chat. So
Yes.
thank you very much for
Thank you,
the
brother.
long
Thank you.
trip. And it's also our pressure because this is what we are doing, right? We are not a generic blockchain. We are trying to focus in one specific purpose. And there is a lot of people aligned with this vision, with this purpose. We are putting all them together and we are creating this ecosystem and
Exactly.
we are realizing this mission. Welcome, David, or not? David? Okay. He's in a spirit,
Hello.
but
Hello.
okay. How was the drive?
Yes, I think so. I think you see me,
I
you can
think
listen to me.
We can see you and we can listen to you.
okay. You were going to
Can
Singapore,
you
Ahmed.
listen to me now?
We can
I think
listen
you
to
have
you.
some lag. No? Okay, we can listen to you.
Okay, but it looks like frozen. Not sure if it's my connection.
We can see you moving. We can
Yeah.
hear you. Okay. Anyway, you were going to Singapore, Ahmed.
Yeah. So after that, we had the opportunity to then fly all the way to Singapore after making a brief stop in the UAE. Um, so yeah, Singapore is so I think like this time, uh, Singapore had like a different flavor for us, and of course, broadly as well, because the world has been steadily and very fast moving towards real world assets, stable coins, and digital asset treasuries. There's definitely those are the narratives that are very important at the moment. And for us as well, because we had the DATCO announcement, we had the mainnet announcement, so that really put us there very much in the conversation, not in the sense that it was very fresh for people. And for us, our focus was primarily on these focused areas, whereby more real world assets had some excellent meetings on what could be the play with stable coins and real world assets, and ultimately, of course, these DATCO conversations, they seem to be just piling on. It seems to be a very very hot narrative, especially the way BTCS is doing, because we had our good friend Wojtek from BTCS also join us in Singapore. And boy, and someone needs to see him sell BTCS and how he talks about the ZIG token. This guy is like such a big, ZIG fan, ZIG soldier. It's next level.
Ambassador.
So yeah, so it was Singapore was splendid for us in that sense, because again, a lot of institutional interest, a lot of builder interest, a lot of interest from people who want to do things on the RWA front or on the stablecoin front, especially yield-bearing stablecoins, which are again just another form of DeFi wrappers. But then, if you back yield-bearing stablecoins with real-world assets, and you're generating yield from real-world assets, then it actually becomes very sustainable, scalable yields in a completely DeFi way. So it was positive in that sense. We also had the good fortune of attending a lot of events that were held by our partners. Um, yeah, I hear.
That's David typing.
Yeah, that is okay. That's
David.
David.
David, your keyboard is so noisy, but I think he doesn't.
Okay.
So if you listen to the keyboard, then the connection is okay. I was checking and it's weird because you look guys sometimes like frozen to me, and then I'm checking a test and I'm like 500 megabits. So I don't know.
Maybe we're going slow.
If
David
you
is
say
talking.
something to me, I didn't got it. So
Okay.
Don't worry. Okay, continue, Ahmed.
now I think it's okay. The sound?
Sounds okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
So-
Sound is okay.
okay.
I'm going to continue. Okay. So
Anyway.
so yeah, like I was saying, we also had the good fortune of attending, of co-sponsoring and co-hosting some of these side events over there. So one of them was with Valerium, with whom we have a partnership, and we're actively speaking with them in terms of having them come and build their marketplace on ZIGChain. Active work has commenced over there. It was again a very well attended event. All people from the tokenization space. And yeah, but I think really the cherry of all of these events was this our own event that we hosted on Sunday, last Sunday, which was completely focused on family offices. The focus from our perspective as a foundation, as ZIGChain, was more to highlight what we're building, what is our ethos, what is the work that we're doing around regulatory frameworks, around tokenization, how we're supporting genuine builders who want to build trailblazing protocols, wealth generating protocols on top of our blockchain, and what are those early opportunities that are already available. Some really good connections that also came out from this event, which we're ultimately going to be following up. Wojtek was there, as you know, he is now everywhere. There is a family office, so Wojtek was there, and Wojtek also, presented the opportunity around BTCS, and overall, I think there is definitely a lot of institutional interest in our blockchain and in the opportunities that exist and will exist on our blockchain. So overall, a net positive. David is not here, and I don't know whether I will. I'm not going to break his heart. So after the event was done, we also got to see the F1 race, because where
He
we had
knows.
the
He
event.
knows.
Yeah, he knows. Okay, but
Rafai was sending picture all the time to him. For
but
you to know, guys,
yeah.
David is a huge fan of Formula One.
I know. So, well, we missed him, right? But yeah. So I think it was like a good setting to be able to do the event in that place, and to have like all of these connects, get together, talk business, have something light to eat, and then get to watch the race together. I think these kind of events, they um, so there's like a clientele effect in everything, and so you do events for institutions, you do events for community, and I think we have now grown to that level where we have the Zig Connect for our community, and then we have the these institutional type events for a different clientele. But I'm very excited by whenever I think about the ZIGChain Summit 2025, because I think that really brought everything together. And when I look back and see what was that one thing that really turned everything around for us, amongst many other things that we've been working towards, but I think what was like a clear catalyst, it was that event. And I think shout out to our community, because that was the first time the institutions on our invitation and are using our wider network, they walked in. And when they saw our community and what we're building, I think it has never been the same ever since then. So shout out.
Yeah, it's not that you think, it's a reality. We have direct comment from people saying, "Hey, I haven't seen a community like this one since Solana." So
Exactly.
it was amazing. You know that a little bit more than a week ago, we were here just launching the blockchain. It has been only 1 week.
Exactly.
Only 1 week. It looks like a lifetime, but it was last week.
I know. It was only a week ago, and I recall being on the stream with you and Aurora and David. Rafe was also having these internet problems, but he was coming and going. And yeah, time really passes by, and that also tells you, and I think that's like a great explanation of the theory of relativity as well, right? So when we did not have the blockchain, time just did not used to pass. It was always, oh, when will the blockchain come? But it is here now, and time is passing by so quickly. It's already been a week.
Yeah. Okay, so now I'm gonna respond one of the questions because somebody's asking for the knife. It's not a knife, it's a sword. It's a sword from Cloud from Final Fantasy VII. And you know the funny thing? I bought this in Japan, super cool, and I put it in my backpack. And then each time that I fly, they stop me and they take my backpack and they say, "Hey, what are you doing with a knife in the backpack?" And I have to say, "No, it's not a knife. It's not sharp. It's a
Yeah,
keyring." So now I have here in the table because it's a pain in the ass to be stopped
of
in
course.
the flights all the time. So something very interesting, guys. Well, we launched it last week. We took some shortcut, never in security. But one of the things that we did is that we launched the bridge and we realized very well when we launched the blockchain, we realized really close to the launch that the bridging fee that Axelar were charging was very, very expensive. This is a default parameter that they have for this kind of bridging, and it looks like it cannot be changed. So since then, we have been working day and night trying to fix this. We found a solution. We found a solution, and it's gonna be released next week. So if you have a small amount of seed, you cannot afford to bridge with this 601 Z. Just hold. You're gonna miss just a little bit of this sexy APY, but just hold a little bit because the next week you will have this available. There is gonna be a functionality where you will be able to bridge your SIG at a very, very low cost. Um, we will explain the details, but for you to understand, the way that we are bridging is um, you log your ZIG on Ethereum through Axelar. We send an IBC token to ZIGChain. And once we get this IBC token, is collected by a smart contract, and automatically without you having to do anything, it's gonna be converted to Z. It's gonna be swapped to Z. So it's possible that again, this is gonna be fully detailed. We are preparing a very nice UX UI, so you don't have any doubt about it. But is what you're gonna see in the interface is that you connect your Ethereum, and what you receive is SIG Axelar. Okay, but don't worry for this because as soon as the SIG Axelar reach ZIGChain, it's gonna be converted to ZIG, and you will have native SIG in your chain. So again, next week this will be available for everybody. We will remove the old bridge. We will work with it will be in the same one where you can bridge USDC. Everything will be there. So only one bridge to rule them all.
Amazing.
Um,
And
go,
I
go,
think
go.
like shout out to Nat and the tech team. They've really been at it. A shout out to Aurora because she cares so much for the community because she's been coming in every day into our Slack and saying users are complaining about the fee. Users are complaining about the fee. We need to find a solution. And Nat's like, I'm at it. I'm at it. And today when Nat showed me that while she's been testing, it's costing around $2 or something like that.
Yeah.
I think it's
It's
amazing.
the gas fee. It's the gas fee
And this is the
from
gas fee, yeah.
Ethereum.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So amazing.
So we have this almost ready again, guys. Next week it will be deployed to production. We want to do a few small tests, and we want overall the more not challenging, but what we want to make very, very clear is in the UX UI what it means, because this is something that we cannot control. It's a widget that comes from the Interchain Lab Foundation. So it's something that we cannot change. So we will explain very, very well in the interface what it means. So there is no question around that. Last thing from my, yeah. Go.
One thing I just like to add for the benefit of the community is that we are also working with a lot of our, in fact, all of our exchange partners, existing, new, and even when it comes to upcoming, that they list the ZIGChain network as a supported network for deposits and withdrawals. So because of course you have to understand that everything is connected together. So we had to have mainnet for exchanges to start working on this, and then there is a lead time, and then to delivery. So very soon we will have the first few exchanges that would start opening support for our chain. So then you will be able to just move your ZIG tokens directly from exchanges to your ZIGChain wallet, and really and vice versa too. So just hold on; those things are also coming.
Okay, actually, we have a question from somebody from the community asking about the ZIG staked in BSC. So the way that you can do now is that you can unstake right now, no lock, instant withdrawal. Then you bridge the tokens to Ethereum, and from Ethereum you do this movement to ZIGChain. But once we have the exchanges, if these exchanges support the two network, Bit20 and ZIGChain, you are going to be able to do it, skipping the step to go into Ethereum. So this is coming, but if you don't want to wait, next week, super cheap, from BSC to Ethereum and from Ethereum to ZIGChain. Okay, last thing, we are running out of time, but we have something very, very interesting. I wanted David to announce because I'm super excited too about this. But and this is something is related to signaling. It affects ZIGChain, of course, because anything that happened to signaling, the idea is that it's going to contribute with TBL to ZIGChain, and ZIGChain is going to provide of this amazing strategy to signaling. But this is a functionality that we have been hoping for this for the last 3 years. Because in signaling, we have an amazing marketplace where you can go and you can find amazing strategies. But what we have noticed is that we do very poor decisions. We always try to chase the trending strategy, and usually the ones, even when we have a nice algorithm that gives you something more reliable, people try to go to the more profitable strategies. And usually what happens is that these strategies, they are not able to scale, and they are not, maybe they just got the trend, and from there they usually go down. So also what we notice is that people used to put everything in one single strategy. When you don't diversify, whenever this strategy goes wrong, you end losing money. So we have been analyzing results from users, and we were always thinking how we can optimize, how we can improve this. And the solution, and this is something that we have from the last 3 years, is a kind of what we have called Z-index. What a Z-index does is a portfolio of strategies. So now, in very, very soon, you are going to be able to go to Signally. You are going to see 3 indexes. Depending on your risk appetite, you can choose one or the other. You put your money in the index, and the index automatically is going to distribute all this money in a 13 proportion that has been, we have some AI algorithm to get the optimal distribution of the capital between the best service reliable that can scale of the platform. These indexes, they are gonna have exclusive strategies that are only gonna be available for the indexes. Of course, these indexes, many of these strategies are gonna be on ZIGChain because that is when we are getting um, mm, the best yield. So this is something is already working. We have been testing these three indexes for the last since the 15th of September. They are working really, really good. We have the whole team from Signally is already invested in these indexes. One question that I forgot the name, but somebody have asked this question in the chat a few times. What about Ninja Shuttle? Ninja Shuttle, all the capital from Ninja Shuttle has been allocated to the indexes. And the indexes are prospecting a very, very interesting APY that this will be redistributed to the holder of the NFT of Ninja Shuttle. So super exciting news. I'm super bullish with this functionality because it's one click, guys. You go to Signally, one click, you put your money, and you're gonna have to follow just one service, one strategy, and there is gonna be one human with AI support being the one deciding, hey, this service is not working anymore, or I'm gonna put this other service. We are looking at services that are not correlated. So it's amazing. It's amazing. So this is coming really, really soon. Uh, right now, as we speak, there is a post that is being published. So you can go there, you can join the waiting list, and for those who join the waiting list, we are gonna give access to the first 100, and we are gonna do a raffle for those who are allocating these indexes. So we will comment about all the bases of this raffle very, very soon. But I think as soon as we finish this streaming, you will have the article. You can check Signally um, Twitter or X, and you will see there all the details. If you are in the user base of Signally, you will receive an email. This is big, guy. It's really, really big. I cannot be more excited about this.
No,
So
actually, I think it's one of the most exciting things to come out, and you know, it's like so great because we have all of these developments, mainnet, you know, and now this and all of these other things in between coming in quick succession. And I really like the idea behind the indexes because if you look at how TradFi has scaled, they've scaled by virtue of really making it easier for people to take exposure to capital markets. And I think, you know, with the indexes, that is what we're doing. We're just making it even more simpler. I mean, it could not get simpler than this, right?
it's very interesting that you mentioned this because we have been building ZIGChain for I think almost 1.5 years.
Yeah,
We have been behind this idea for more than 3 years, and
yeah,
now in the same month we have
exactly,
the two things.
exactly.
Is very interesting. And guys, this is not a future mode. It's not a new functionality. This is the evolution of signaling. Okay, it's gonna be a now and before. This is a inflection point. It's gonna change everything. We are gonna be able to attract more people who don't need to know anything about crypto or even investment. Again, this is gonna be impacting the ecosystem. It's gonna be a flywheel where strategies from the ecosystem are to the disposition of the investor because we have more investor. There is gonna be more people interested in creating strategies in ZIGChain. So again, news are coming live as we speak. So be done it. If you want to participate in early access, join the waitlist because you can even earn this raffle. That's all from my
Amazing.
side, Ahmed. Anything else that you want to share?
No, so yeah, like guys, just it's early days, and you know, once again, we're very thankful for all of your support throughout the years. Really thankful to all of the builders that are working with us, all of the partners. A lot goes into building and then maintaining and running a blockchain. You have the RPC providers, you have the oracles, you have dev support, all of the exchanges, the kind of conversations that are happening there. So even if someone is really not directly a part of our ecosystem, they are ultimately working with us and they're spending man hours and they're burning midnight oil to get a lot of these things to you. Excellence is a journey. No one really just launches with a finished product on day one. All of these blockchains that you see out there, they've gone through the process of having integrating with exchanges over time, with having more dApps come over time, and we are walking down that route. And you guys are the lucky ones, being the OGs of the chain. So the earlier you're here, ultimately you are writing history, and you will, the blockchain itself will remember who was there early and who was not there early. So bridge in, take advantage of all of this early activities, and we have like a lot of things cooking. We will definitely be rolling them out, and hopefully I might be able to soon give you a date for when we meet next in person.
Nice. Okay, guys. Thank you very much and have a lovely night.
All right. Bye bye. Thank you.